service around the world. You're currently listening to On the Money, brought to you by the Certified Financial Group. You know by now, with over 30 years on the air, over 30 years serving the Central Florida market, answering your financial questions, the Certified Financial Group is here to make your financial future a little bit calmer, a little bit more relaxed, because you can talk about it with the experts at the Certified Financial Group. Today, we're so fortunate to be joined by Chris Toadvine and Joe Bert. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing great, Josh. How are you doing, man?
Doing just wonderfully. Wonderful as always.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for kicking us off here. As you just announced, Chris and I are here to take any questions that our listeners might have regarding your personal finances, as we have been doing this now for more than 30 years. This is not an infomercial. We are here live taking your calls, questions, things that might be on your mind regarding your personal finances, decisions that you're trying to make regarding your 401k, regarding an IRA, a rollover, long-term health care, life insurance, reverse mortgages, real estate, all that stuff that Chris and I and the 14 other certified financial planners deal with every day, day in and day out, getting our clients to and through their retirement years. We charge a fee for our services, but on Saturday morning, we're here for you absolutely free. So if you have any questions regarding those topics or anything else I may have missed, the good news for you is the lines are absolutely wide open, and you can create the line by being right in front of the line by dialing these magic numbers.
The numbers are 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO, or feel free to send in an open mic inside that WDBO app. Today's topic, it's a good one. Transferring control of finances. When do you hand over that checkbook?
Very exciting topic, Joe. Why would someone want to hand over their checkbook?
Well, either they can't do it anymore, or they're tired of doing it, or they realize they can't do it.
Or all the above. Yeah, that's right. And you know, you just said something. We help folks get to and through retirement. I would say this falls under the category of getting through retirement, right? And a lot of times I think the general public thinks about planning as the getting to part, not realizing that once you get to, then there are other things you got to think about.
Yep.
And so why would someone want to hand over their checkbook or give someone else control, not just their checkbook, but their financial life, let's say.
Right.
And so as Americans get older and get up on the end of their lives, they have to still make financial decisions, be that about their long-term care and how they're going to be taken care of, estate planning. And, the reality is oftentimes people experience decline in those later years. About 1 out of 4 people over age 65, Joe, have a mild cognitive impairment. And this is coming from, by the way, just so you know, it's credible. It's not Chris making it up, from the Center for Retirement Research at Boston College. So they study this kind of stuff to try to help Americans make smarter decisions. So 1 in 4 people over 65 have some mild impairment, and another 11% have dementia. So you're talking about at least 1 out of 3 people over 65 that's got some stuff going on mentally.
Yep.
Another study showed it could be as high as 2/3 of people, 2 out of 3 people that are, let's say, fading a little bit. And here's something that's interesting. The sharpest declines are in white men and people with higher education. You ever heard of that before?
No, I have not. White educated men have the sharpest declines.
The sharpest mental declines, and then women's showed slower rates of cognitive decline, with black women having the smallest decreases after retirement. So
wow,
there you go.
That's interesting.
Kind of
I would have never guessed that. If you had asked me to rank those and categorize it, I think I'd have just flipped it just the opposite from at least what I've read and you kind of perceive, but that's not the case.
Well,
interesting.
Kind of
so white educated men have the greatest
chance of
decline.
And let's say at least 1 out of 3 conservatively over age 65 are experiencing some level of decline. So that begs and I read something else. I'm reading a book that sort of talks about this. When do you peak mentally and then go into decline, and how do you prepare for that? And this author said that by the age of 50, most people have as much going on in their brain as the New York Public Library. So you got a lot of the hard drive's working hard up there.
Yeah.
And, it's got a lot of capacity, but it can get overwhelmed at times. So I think the big idea is that if that's you, most people don't want to plan to hand over their checkbook. But if it is you, what do you do? What do you do?
Well, we see it on a regular basis. So let's talk about what we do.
And we do, Joe, and that's part of what led me to be a little interested in this. I start seeing studies and the emails that we get that have information about these kinds of things. And how do you protect yourself? Well, you have to identify someone who could step in if you're not able to. Right. And more often, and what should that person look like? Well, they should be capable of making good business decisions. So, and a lot of times folks want to default to their children, but sometimes their children may not be the best person to do that. Obviously, you'd want them to be trustworthy and available when needed. So even if your child's good with business, but you live in Florida and they live in Seattle, that might practically make it difficult. So most people, when asked, said, 70%, 7 out of 10 said, hey, I'd want my kids to do it. I would want a kid. And then 10% said a sibling, 9% said maybe a trustee or some other institution, which I think a lot of folks are not aware of what that means or looks like or what is the cost associated with that. But nonetheless, so you got to get a game plan in place because you never know if it's you. And I think the big idea is that this is one of these areas of planning that needs to be discussed, needs some attention. Here's something I thought was pretty interesting, Joe, as it relates to what is our role in this and how do you prepare? 64%, so 2 out of 3, let's say, of people with advisors at least have a trusted contact named.
Right.
So people with advisors tend to, compared to the general public, more of them tend to have these documents in
So
place.
let's talk about what that is and how we use it here at Certified Financial Group, a trusted contact.
Well, what is a trusted contact? So a trusted contact is someone who you identify as a person that you trust, who, if we have concerns about your capacity, about, hey, you're all of a sudden, you've never requested money, and now we notice that you're getting up in years and you start requesting a lot of money. This is a person that we could call and discuss your situation with.
So
let's
let's
us permission.
Right. Let's take it right from the basics here. So when we open accounts, we ask for a trusted contact information if you want to provide it. And the idea behind that is to protect you, because we know that stuff happens. You become victim to swindlers out there. If we see money being transferred, requests for transfer to some unknown source, some unknown address, something, the red flag goes up, the bells start ringing, and this now signals to us it's time for us to at least check with your trusted contact. Could be your children, it could be your neighbor, it could be anyone you designate, to confirm that you are in fact okay.
Well, that's right, and you said it, Joe. I think what's going on behind the scenes here that we haven't said is there is a lot of fraud that takes place. It's getting more difficult for all of us. Right. The phone calls where they're just looking to get you to say yes, and they record your voice, regardless of your age, but certainly as folks age. I have a friend who knew a lady in South Florida who got one of these calls and, about her grandchild or something, and ended up going to the bank and withdrawing, about $10,000 in cash and putting it in a FedEx envelope and sending it to these folks.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually did it a second time before she realized. So to that point, 81% of people said they would be comfortable talking with their advisor if they were a target of a scam or abuse. And this lady actually told her advisor, who's my friend, about that happening, and he was the one that kind of helped her say, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right. It smells like a rat.
Right.
And so, I think having a trusted relationship, so that's step one of what do you do? Hey, have a trusted relationship. And those with an advisor are twice as likely to have a power of attorney to have. So what do you do? The first thing you do, most people don't want to hand over their checkbook, but if it comes to that, how do you pass that baton to someone else? Well, you have the legal documentation in place, which would be a power of attorney for your business affairs. Could be naming a successor trustee, right, if you have accounts that are in trust. Even a guardianship, right? A guardianship is a little more involved and could just be for finances, or it could be for someone's, everything, their health care, their entire life. But I think one of the planning points here, Joe, is that, and one of the things that we try to do is help folks simplify their finances.
Exactly.
So, when you have things scattered all over the place, if someone had to step in it becomes that much more difficult. So ideally, as you head into retirement, you think about, I had this conversation this week, a couple times actually, that the benefit of simplifying and having less accounts compared to more, the more accounts you have scattered around, even if you have full capacity, it's just more work for you,
right,
more to keep up with. If you have less accounts, hey, it's a little easier to keep, your focus on it. But if someone else has to step in, then it's going to make it easier for them. And that goes with, not just for investment accounts, but bank accounts, credit cards. How many people have you met with over the years that think that the more bank accounts they have, the safer they are, right? So,
yep.
And so I think the big idea here is, in order to be prepared for bad stuff down the road, or just you get tired of doing it, you need a little bit of help. And this is not just for our retired listeners out there who are beyond 65. This is for Gen X.
Right.
If your parents are in this category, and to have the conversation. And I think that's where the advisor comes in. A lot of times we bring things up that maybe families are uncomfortable bringing up with one another. And so I think it is a very important area of planning, again, to the idea of not just getting to retirement, but through retirement without being swindled or bamboozled out of what you worked your whole lifetime for, and then making sure that you have the right person or people or team in place. I've always believed in the division of powers, Joe. Our founding fathers were pretty smart, and so it's great to have a team of people who can hold each other accountable, so that there's no buffoonery going on. So,
and you want somebody that will work for you as a fiduciary, which means that they're on your side of the table, and they have to demonstrate, if they ever call on the carpet, that what they've done is in your best interest, not in their best interest. So I hear the music there. Josh, take it away, buddy.
That's right. If you want to hop on, join the conversation. We're joined today by the Certified Financial Group, Joe Bert and Chris Toadvine, answering your questions, taking your calls. Lines are open. Pick up the phone right now and dial 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO, or sending your question via our voice messaging machine. If people still know what that is, a little answering machine. You send in your note, the open mic inside the WDBO app. Open up the app, push the open mic button, send it in, and I'll pass that along to the experts who actually probably can answer that question, not me, the guy who just talks on the air for a living. 844-580-9326. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow.
Today.
With the Certified Financial Group.
40 years ago, I had a dream of building the best personal financial consulting firm in Central Florida. Now, with 14 certified financial planners acting as fiduciaries, I believe we're there. But don't take my word for it.
As we approach retirement, we have the freedom of choice.
Peace of mind that we now have. That's everything to us.
The people that work here are honest and caring, and I feel like I can go to sleep at night.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, where we're planning tomorrow, today. Did you know anyone can call themselves a fiduciary, but only certified financial planners are required to work in your best interest? And we have 14 of them right here in Altamont Springs. So when you're ready to plan for your retirement, give us a call.
Just knowing that my money's here with Certified Financial Group, I feel relaxed and comfortable.
They're smart. They watch the market. They take care of you. You can depend on them.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, where we're planning tomorrow, today.
What is a fiduciary? When it comes to investing, a fiduciary is legally required to act in your best interest. For 40 years, planners at Certified Financial Group have been guiding our local clients toward financial peace of mind. The rest of the world is still catching up, but our team of certified financial planners are the local, experienced fiduciaries you can trust. Certified Financial Group are your Central Florida planners. Call us today.
Your Confident Forever plan is possible with a CFP professional. At Certified Financial Group, we can help you build a complete financial plan. Visit financialgroup.com to find your CFP professional.
Years ago, I had a dream of building the best personal financial consulting firm in Central Florida. Now, with 14 certified financial planners acting as fiduciaries, I believe we're there. But don't take my word for it.
As we approach retirement, we have the freedom of choice.
Peace of mind that we now have, that's everything to us.
The people that work here are honest and caring, and I feel like I can go to sleep at night.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, or we're planning tomorrow, today. Did you know anyone can call themselves a fiduciary, but only certified financial planners are required to work in your best interest? And we have 14 of them right here in Altamont Springs. So when you're ready to plan for your retirement, give us a call.
Just knowing that my money's here with Certified Financial Group, I feel relaxed and comfortable.
They're smart. They watch the market. They take care of you. You can depend on them.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, or we're planning tomorrow, today.
Welcome back to On the Money right here on WDBO 107.3 FM AM 580, always streaming live in your very own on-the-go WDBO app. Open up the app, push the play button, and take us with you wherever you got the old internet with you. If you want to hop on the air, we're so fortunate to be joined by Chris Toadvine and Joe, the Oracle of Orlando Bert with the Certified Financial Group. The number to call is 844-580-9326, 844-580 WDBO, or send in your open mic in the WDBO app. We'll go ahead and get those on the air, get those answered by the experts we have standing by. Let's go right to work. Daniel is calling in from Winter Park. Go ahead, Daniel. You're
Morning,
on the air.
Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
What's up?
How you doing?
Morning, guys. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Sure. What's happening?
Hey, I have a question. Since I'm the first time receiving this money from a relative that passed away, they gave me from this Charles Schwab company, they said an RMD, which is an IRA account that has only stocks in it. A maximum amount, I think, is 1,000 in it, and then the rest is stocks. What I'm trying to find out is this. Do we have to, how does that work? Because they say I have to take out a certain amount of money and from the RMD, but they're saying part of it is stocks. And I don't know if that's true, that I got to sell stocks to get this money that they have to take out. I'm not too much familiar about it.
Well, the part about the RMD is right. Let me ask a question here. Was the person who passed away,
Yes.
were they over the age of 73, 72, 73? Were they taking
80.
Pardon me?
He was about 80.
So they were already starting RMDs. Okay, you have some There's some new rules that have come into effect that you have to be aware of. Because they already started their RMDs, you have to continue taking out for the next 10 years and drain that account entirely in 10 years.
Right.
Now, in order to do, did they tell you that? Did Schwab tell you that in their letter?
Well, what they said is that they have almost $20-some thousand, and they have to take a certain amount of money out of there per year.
Right. That's
so that's all I know. But what the strange thing is, which I didn't understand, was there's only I guess $1,000 all $1,000 of cash, and the rest is all stocks.
Right.
So they said, take that money out, but I have to sell some stocks.
That's correct.
But I thought it was just only money. That's what's so confusing, because I've never heard of anything like this. First time ever doing this stuff.
Sure, I understand. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, Daniel. So, listen, first of all, man, we appreciate you calling. Secondly, sorry for your loss, whoever passed away. But as Joe said, you do have now, it sounds like this was a retirement account. And so retirement accounts are great in that they defer income taxes until a certain age, 72, 73 now. And because you inherited, you have to, as Joe said, the new rules, take it out. By the end of the 10th year, you have to take it all out. So you don't have to take any out this year, but the idea, and this is where the planning really comes in, Daniel, you want to be smart tax-wise, right? So generally what we do is smooth it out instead of waiting till the end, because depending on how much money you're talking about here, if you take it all out at once, a lot of folks get knocked into a much higher tax bracket. So we don't like that. So we want to also at the same time manage your tax bill. To your question, to get cash out, if you don't have enough cash in the account, you do have to sell something. And so, that's where this is where the different areas of planning begin to converge, because it's, well, what do you have in the account, and should you keep that? Or is it properly diversified? So that's one thing. Secondly, how much should you take out? There's an amount that, we could calculate kind of a minimum, but then maybe it would make sense to take more. So I think that that's part of the planning. And then in your case, what does that do to your income tax situation? And what do you do with those funds looking forward? Does that make sense?
Right. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
so planning is really critical here. You're probably dealing with a fair amount of money based on what I can read between the lines here. So it's really not do-it-yourself time. You've had the good fortune to inherit some money, and this is what we do for our clients. I encourage you to give Chris a call on Monday morning and sit down for a no-obligation visit. We could tell you what we do, how we do it, and I'm sure by the end of what's going to happen for you, we can save you a fair amount of money in taxes and perhaps give you some peace of mind as well. So give us a call at 407-869-9800, or check us out on the web, Daniel, at financialgroup.com. That's financialgroup.com.
Thank you so much, Daniel. I could listen to that back and forth all day, but unfortunately we got a break coming up. If you want to hop in line, hop on the air. Chris and Joe standing by. 407-869-9800 is not the number to call to get on the air. That is the number to call if you want to talk to Charles Curry. Say you're in Daniel's situation, but you want to get a little more specific with the numbers and a little more specific with the account information. We have an off-air number standing by. Charles Curry, 407-869-9800. You want to talk to Joe and Chris live on the air. That number is, WDBO. 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO, or send in your open mic now. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning today with the Certified Financial Group.
What is a fiduciary? When it comes to investing, a fiduciary is legally required to act in your best interest. For 40 years, planners at Certified Financial Group have been guiding our local clients toward financial peace of mind. The rest of the world is still catching up, but our team of certified financial planners are the local, experienced fiduciaries you can trust. Certified Financial Group are your Central Florida planners. Call us today.
Your Confident Forever plan is possible with a CFP professional. At Certified Financial Group, we can help you build a complete financial plan. Visit financialgroup.com to find your CFP professional.
ago, I had a dream of building the best personal financial consulting firm in Central Florida. Now, with 14 certified financial planners acting as fiduciaries, I believe we're there. But don't take my word for it.
As we approach retirement, we have the freedom of choice.
Peace of mind that we now have. That's everything to us.
The people that work here are honest and caring, and I feel like I can go to sleep at night.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, or we're planning tomorrow, today. Did you know anyone can call themselves a fiduciary, but only certified financial planners are required to work in your best interest? And we have 14 of them right here in Altamont Springs. So when you're ready to plan for your retirement, give us a call.
Just knowing that my money's here with Certified Financial Group, I feel relaxed and comfortable.
They're smart. They watch the market. They take care of you. You can depend on them.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, or we're planning tomorrow, today.
What is a fiduciary? When it comes to investing, a fiduciary is legally required to act in your best interest. For 40 years, planners at Certified Financial Group have been guiding our local clients toward financial peace of mind. The rest of the world is still catching up, but our team of certified financial planners are the local, experienced fiduciaries you can trust. Certified Financial Group are your Central Florida planners. Call us today.
Your Confident Forever plan is possible with a CFP professional. At Certified Financial Group, we can help you build a complete financial plan. Visit financialgroup.com to find your CFP professional.
Years ago, I had a dream of building the best personal financial consulting firm in Central Florida. Now, with 14 certified financial planners acting as fiduciaries, I believe we're there. But don't take my word for it.
As we approach retirement, we have the freedom of choice.
Peace of mind that we now have. That's everything to us.
The people that work here are honest and caring, and I feel like I can go to sleep at night.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, or we're planning tomorrow, today. Did you know anyone can call themselves a fiduciary, but only certified financial planners are required to work in your best interest? And we have 14 of them right here in Altamont Springs. So when you're ready to plan for your retirement, give us a call.
Just knowing that my money's here with Certified Financial Group, I feel relaxed and comfortable.
They're smart. They watch the market. They take care of you. You can depend on them.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, or we're planning tomorrow, today.
What is a fiduciary? When it comes to investing, a fiduciary is legally required to act in your best interest. For 40 years, planners at Certified Financial Group have been guiding our local clients toward financial peace of mind. The rest of the world is still catching up, But our team of certified financial planners are the local, experienced fiduciaries you can trust. Certified Financial Group are your Central Florida planners. Call us today.
Your confidence.
You guys want to go to one of the questions?
Yeah, we want to get back to Daniel's situation for a minute.
We want to circle back to that.
Certainly. Sorry, I was out of the room for a second helping. Welcome back to On the Money right here on WDBO 107.3 FM AM 580. Always streaming live in your app. Take WDBO on the go with you. Download the free WDBO app in the App Store or Play Store. You're listening to On the Money right now. Your chance to hop on the air with some certified financial planners with the Certified Financial Group. The number to call is 844-580-9326, 844-580 WDBO, or send in your open mic via that same WDBO app. Speaking of the phone, guys, we're joined by Chris Toadvine and Joe Bert with the Certified Financial Group. We had Daniel call in last break, and I wonder if Daniel utilized the off-air number, 407-869-9800, to call Charles Curry, because he had a pretty interesting situation.
Yeah, for our listeners who may have just joined us, let's circle back to what Daniel's situation was and be sure we gave him the right information.
Yeah, so Daniel had asked, for our new listeners out there, Daniel had asked, he had inherited an IRA from someone who had already started taking distributions from that IRA, and he was asking a couple questions about how do you get money out if it's in stocks, and do they have to be sold? They do. And then the thing that we just wanted to be clear on, because we kind of left Daniel quickly, is that because the person that Daniel inherited that IRA from had already started taking distributions, Daniel has to continue taking distributions. So I said in some cases you don't have to take anything out until the 10th year. Some folks could choose to defer, but that's not the case for Daniel. Because the person he inherited from, Daniel, if you're listening, had already been taking distributions, you have to continue taking a minimum amount out each year. But this is the tax planning element of it, in that you may want to take more out. This is the planning that Daniel and anyone in that circumstance needs to do, because it may make sense to take out more than the minimum amount. Joe, I had this situation this week from a planning standpoint with a client who does not need to take minimum distributions and has retired and on paper has no income. And I said, that is just an opportunity. The harvest is ripe here. We're going to take advantage of that.
Right.
So so that's the tax planning piece, and that is what, Daniel, I think that it would be good to either call the office Monday, call Charles Curry today, but you're going to want to get some help with that, particularly if there's a few more zeros behind the account balance than might be. So that said, and then I wanted to pivot back, Joe, to our topic of the day.
Before we go to that, that's Daniel's situation. However, if you're a spouse, there's a whole other set of rules, which you won't get into. So, but in Daniel's situation, because he was not a spouse in this case, he has to do that required distribution.
That's right. So spouses are,
whole other set of rules.
Yeah, they're kind of like holy ground when it comes to IRA. They do, they just kind of roll it over into their IRA and treat it like their own, and whatever rules apply to them. So,
okay, getting back to our topic of the day.
Back to the topic of the day. So, and along the lines maybe of what Daniel was dealing with, the topic of the day is when and having a game plan if you needed to turn over your finances or pass that baton to someone else. And Joe, we're talking on the break here and just saying that we have a lot of clients, and I would say wisely so, who come to see us, and they are they're selecting really their successor, if their spouse, because a lot of times in a relationship there's a financial spouse and there's a non-financial spouse.
Right.
And so if the financial spouse ends up going first, then the non-financial spouse is left to do something that maybe they're not equipped, or certainly in many cases don't want to do, and they need help with that. So the benefit of having a fiduciary on your team, again, part of a team, even if the kids are involved, having that fiduciary on your team is that financial spouse can help choose in advance of hopefully never needing it, but if they do, the person who would then maybe be more hands-on with their spouse to take over the finances if needed.
Right. I can't tell you over the years how many times we've had folks come to see us for the first time, and the conversation goes something like this. I've listened to you guys for years, and the situation is that I realize that when I'm gone, my spouse can't continue doing what I've been doing so well. And I just want to be sure that if something happens to me, or when something happens to me, that he or she has a relationship with somebody that I trust, and I trust you guys. So to us, it's a real. I can't tell you how rewarding that makes us feel when that happens, and it happens an awful lot. But it's not just us. If this holds for anybody that's out there. You need to establish that relationship early on with a certified financial planner. There's many good certified financial planners here in Central Florida, but deal with somebody who's a certified financial planner, not just somebody on the radio who claims they're a fiduciary, because today everybody is a fiduciary, but deal with a certified financial planner. And as I said, there's many of them here in Central Florida. Do your homework, shop around, and find somebody that you feel comfortable with, so your spouse isn't left making those financial decisions, oftentimes under duress, under emotional situations. And get that lined up. And it doesn't cost anything to at least come in and say hello, and say when the time comes, this is who you call. So.
Well, that's right. And ideally have a relationship with them so they can get familiar with your financial situation. Mm-hmm. And again, a lot of times what we do from a planning standpoint, Joe, is we help folks get things cleaned up. Right. And so if you got accounts scattered all over the place, we help them consolidate those accounts. And in many cases, one of the things that I do is really streamline their cash flow. So they have, one distribution coming out of their account a month or whatever. And, people that have to take required distributions, what's the best way to do that? Right. And so a lot of times we'll send that to the trust and have, a monthly distribution paid from there. But I think the big idea is get that person on your team sooner rather than later in the event that you need them.
Well, those distributions in retirement years tie very much into our upcoming workshop. A week from today, Matt Murphy will be hosting a workshop titled
How Tax Planning Changes Through 4 Stages of Retirement. And it does. And I just highlighted one of those stages when maybe you're retired and you don't have to take distributions. But Matt is going to dig into these details a bit more a week from today from 10 to 11:30 here in the Learning Center at the world headquarters of Certified Financial Group in Altamont Springs. So if you have not signed up for that and would like to, it can go where, Joe?
Go to our website. That's financialgroup.com, financialgroup.com.
CFG has just been chosen as one of the top financial advisory firms in the country by CNBC out of nearly
state-of-the-art Learning Center. Matt will provide some refreshments, and I guarantee you, you will walk away with an idea that's going to save you some money. So if you don't have any plans for next Saturday morning, come on by. It starts at 10 o'clock till 11:30. He'll get you out just before lunch. But you have to make a reservation at financialgroup.com. Hope to see you there. And if you get there a little earlier, you can stop in and look at the monkeys behind the glass here doing the radio program.
That's right.
And we love to meet you as well. So that's next Saturday, the 4 stages of tax planning through retirement.
How tax planning changes through 4 stages of retirement. There you go. And then for those looking down the road, of course, school started this week in Central Florida. So Charles Curry is going to be presenting college planning for high school students, what parents need to know. And there is a lot to know. And that will be on September the 6th. That's a weekday evening from 6:30 to 7:30. So, again, Charles will get you in and out. But if you have high school students who are looking ahead to college, there is a lot to know. I can attest to that. Just with the forms and the process, and there's, many schools don't do a great job, I'll say, of equipping parents. So you got to take it upon yourself to do it, and Charles is going to help you with that. Again, that's September 6th. And then Matt will be back again September 19th for Savvy Generational Planning, Why Estate Planning and Why Now. That's September 16th. And all of these workshops are posted where, Joe?
On our website, financialgroup.com. That's financialgroup.com. We hope to see you there. And I see we have a text question floated in, Josh, so take it away, buddy.
You sure do. If you want to hop on the air, the lines are open for you. 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO. Text question coming in now. Where should I go to start a donor-advised fund?
What is a donor-advised fund?
What is a donor-advised fund?
Tell us, Financial Planning Breath.
Yeah. Hey. So what is a donor-advised fund? Well, you know what? I call donor-advised funds charitable checking accounts. And they're, I would say, have become a lot more popular in the last 10 or 15 years, and almost mainstream for people who give money to charities, and that could be your church, synagogue, United Way, any public charity. And so if you're giving money, donor advised funds can be a great planning tool, Joe, in that they allow you to contribute either cash or appreciated securities, mutual funds or stocks, and get the tax deduction now. So, with the standard deduction having gone up, a lot of people don't itemize anymore. So
right.
One of the planning strategies is, hey, if you're able and you have certainly appreciated securities or cash, give to that donor advised fund this year what you would give over the next 2 years so that maybe you can get a tax deduction for it. And then once it's in, so you get the deduction when the money goes in to the donor advised fund, and you're the donor, so you are advising on the fund where the distributions go. And the money sits there. It can be invested. It can sit in cash. And then if I make a contribution to a donor advised fund, I get to decide when is the money going to go out to the charity. If I want to give a certain amount to my church, or like I say, any charity, the Second Harvest or whoever, I can give from the donor advised fund. So the benefits are that you get the tax deduction now, but you can give the funds out of there. Again, I call it a charitable checking account because you can give the funds out of there. So to the text question, where should I go to start one? Lots of institutions have them. I would say Fidelity's got one, Schwab's got one.
Mm-hmm.
There are other entities around town. The Central Florida Foundation has one. So all good places, and that's something. If you have a question on that specifically, give us a call on Monday at the office at 407-869-9800. And Josh, I hear some music.
That's right. Of course, I was getting a couple of calls during that segment of people wanting to utilize the off-the-air number because, they know they want to work with the Certified Financial Group. They hear you every Saturday. They trust you guys, but they got some personal information they want to talk to you about first. So that number is always available. That's why it is available, is for you guys with that situation. Charles Curry standing by. 407-869-9800 is that off-air number. 407-869-9800. You got more of a general question. We got one more segment coming up next. You want to hop on the air, utilize Chris and Joe joining us today with the Certified Financial Group. 844-580-WDBO, 844-580-9326, or send us an open mic in the free WDBO app. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
Today
with the Certified Financial Group.
Confident Forever plan is possible with a CFP professional. At Certified Financial Group, we can help you build a complete financial plan. Visit financialgroup.com to find your CFP professional.
Years ago, I had a dream of building the best personal financial consulting firm in Central Florida. Now, with 14 certified financial planners acting as fiduciaries, I believe we're there. But don't take my word for it.
As we approach retirement, we have the freedom of choice.
Peace of mind that we now have, that's everything to us.
The people that work here are honest and caring, and I feel like I can go to sleep at night.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, where we're planning tomorrow, today. Did you know anyone can call themselves a fiduciary, but only certified financial planners are required to work in your best interest? And we have 14 of them right here in Altamont Springs. So when you're ready to plan for your retirement, give us a call.
Just knowing that my money's here with Certified Financial Group, I feel relaxed and comfortable.
They're smart. They watch the market. They take care of you. You can depend on them.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, where we're planning tomorrow, today.
What is a fiduciary? When it comes to investing, a fiduciary is legally required to act in your best interest. For 40 years, planners at Certified Financial Group have been guiding our local clients toward financial peace of mind. The rest of the world is still catching up, but our team of certified financial planners are the local, experienced fiduciaries you can trust. Certified Financial Group are your Central Florida planners. Call us today.
Your Confident Forever plan is possible with a CFP professional. At Certified Financial Group, we can help you build a complete financial plan. Visit financialgroup.com to find your CFP professional.
Years ago, I had a dream of building the best personal financial consulting firm in Central Florida. Now, with 14 certified financial planners acting as fiduciaries, I believe we're there. But don't take my word for it.
As we approach retirement, we have the freedom of choice.
Peace of mind that we now have. That's everything to us.
The people that work here are honest and caring, and I feel like I can go to sleep at night.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, where we're planning tomorrow, today. Did you know anyone can call themselves a fiduciary, but only certified financial planners are required to work in your best interest? And we have 14 of them right here in Altamont Springs. So when you're ready to plan for your retirement, give us a call.
Just knowing that my money's here with Certified Financial Group, I feel relaxed and comfortable.
Welcome back to our final segment of On the Money right here on WDBO 107.3 FM AM 580. Take us with you, WDBO on the go in the WDBO app. One more segment here with Chris Toadvine and Joe Bert with the Oracle of Orlando. They're in the Certified Financial Group. Guys, we got some workshops coming up. We got all kinds of things planned for the future here.
Yeah, we do. Let's talk about Score My Funds. We've had a couple of requests float in this week, and we haven't talked about it on the air for a while. For listeners that may not be familiar with it, it's an opportunity for you to have the quality of the investments that you might be holding in your brokerage accounts, your IRAs, your 401ks, wherever they might be, whether they're mutual funds or ETFs, to get a score that's we run for our clients on a regular basis to keep an eye on the quality of their funds, and it's done by the Center for Fiduciary Studies. We have a rigorous filter we put them through. Be glad to do this for you absolutely free. So go to scoremyfunds.com, scoremyfunds.com. You'll pull up a menu there. If you don't know the ticker, it requires a ticker. If you don't know the ticker, put in the fund name. It'll give you the ticker. And within 24 to 48 hours, we will send you a no-obligation report. And if you'd like to follow up with that to see if you're properly diversified and to see if you can improve your situation, we'd be glad to do that for you. So that's scoremyfunds.com.
There you go. That's right, Joe. So it's, and a lot of people don't know they get funds that hang out there. It's kind of like a family pet, and just hang on to it,
Right.
and
It's
don't
gonna
really
come
ever
back.
look at it again. It's going to come back, and and they don't realize that maybe they have a great fund, maybe not. So I would encourage our listeners to take advantage of that. ScoreMyFunds.com, ScoreMyFunds.com, and one more time, Matt Murphy is hosting How Tax Planning Changes Through 4 Stages of Retirement. That is next Saturday from 10 to 11:30. So I think there's still some seats available. Go to our website at financialgroup.com, and you can learn more about that workshop and others coming up. And Charles Curry, just a reminder, if you have questions that you weren't able to get us on the air today, you can call Charles. He'll be hanging out for a bit longer, and he can be reached at the office number here at 407-869-9800. That's 407-869-9800. And what else is going on, Joe?
Well, if the line is busy for Charles, be sure that you leave a message.
That's right.
Because he will follow up for you.
He will.
Yeah, and that about wraps up this program for today. We appreciate all of our listeners and all the calls that you've given us over the years. Chris and I really enjoy doing this, and
we do.
We hope to see you a week from Saturday at Matt's workshop. And in Matt's workshop, you got some very interesting things to show how withdrawals from your retirement accounts impact the taxation of your Social Security and the Medicare premiums that you pay. So if you're at or near your retirement years and that situation applies, go to our website, financialgroup.com, and get on the board.
Yeah, that's right. Get on the board and learn about Irma.
There you go.
She is not friendly to your wallet, right?
That's right.
She is not. That's the income-related Medicare adjustment amount for those who don't know, but Matt's going to talk about that more, and just how to coordinate all these different pieces of the puzzle in a way that makes sense for you. So, Joe, I think that's about it. Josh, we appreciate your guiding us through this last hour, and we just hope everybody can stay cool today. Good luck with that.
Thank you so much. You've just listened to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
Today
with the Certified Financial Group.